Over to you. Thanks. Appreciate that. Can you hear me now? Okay, I guess I have to repeat everything. Okay. Uh, I don't have to preach to you about mobile apps and their importance. I guess I'm preaching to the converted already. So I'm going to spare you the sales pitch and just drive right into it. So making an mobile app, an award-winning mobile app. My name is Lovemore Nalube. I'm the head of ICT innovation and development at the Cape Peninsula University of Technology. There, we focus on trying to do experimental stuff with software. And since we are a team of developers, we look at mobile, web, and software database development and integration and those kind of things. But before we go any further, I just don't want you to think I'm a corporate, placeholder. There's a few things you need to know about me. So, I have worked at 3 universities in the past 10 years. At the University of Fort Hare, I studied, and also during that 3 years, I was the webmaster for marketing and comms. And I was in the middle of the battle between marketing and where development sits and IT, the usual battle. So I looked for the flattest mountain I could find because I needed to get away from the Eastern Cape. Alice is a bit boring, so I went to UCT. And there I spent 3 years programming, being a Java programmer for this open source e-learning system called Sakai. 3 years later, ran away from the mountain, went to Cape Peninsula University of Technology, where I've been since 2011. There I started off as a web developer, PHP, JavaScript, CSS, Java, those kind of stuff. So I would dabble between backhand, database, running Linux operating systems, servers, all that kind of stuff, through to doing design for the web. So I'm a jack of all trades, but don't call me Jack. I have been there since 2011 and set up a department where we took all the developers in the university, put them under one umbrella, which is now called ICT Innovation and Development Unit. Before we go any further, in the past 10 years, there's more about me. I have traveled a bit of the world. I've had lunch in Denver, went up the Eiffel Tower, climbed the tallest church in the world, which is at the top right-hand side there. It's in Germany somewhere. Went to Disney World, had so much fun, took a cruise to the Bahamas, and had more fun and alcohol, and I ended up proposing to someone. So, proposed last year, did the whole knee thing, it is a real diamond, but it's not that big. I didn't win the lotto or anything, and I didn't win a tender or anything like that, so I couldn't afford all that stuff. And besides, now I have to go buy kettle, isn't it? So, but when I'm not doing all of this stuff, I am at CPUT trying to improve people's lives using web technology and mobile, of course. And my unit has been responsible for taking care of the corporate website, which is also an award-winning product that we've created. We've also won numerous awards for our live streaming efforts. Those of you who might know me from way back when, started live streaming, helped out UCT set up their live stream 2012, which is all good. It's been fun. But to get to the point of why you guys have sacrificed your time to come here, the overview of our mobile app journey has been that we started off, we launched our app in the beginning of last year. Late 2014, beginning of last year. Before that, we spent 1.5 years doing serious research, talking to people across all the silos. And when I say silos, you guys understand there are major silos in university environments, hey? People do not want with their information. It is very difficult to convince people to work together. But of course, after a while, managed to get it done. During that 1.5 years, we looked at the technology, we looked at the usefulness, why we should even bother. And it wasn't really driven by the fact that we were nerds. We wanted to just play with the latest technology. It was driven by the fact that students were saying, hey, we suck with technology, so What are you doing about it? Why don't we have something cool like a mobile app and all that kind of stuff? Any case, at the end of the day, when we had our plan and we knew what to do and the integration was sorted, it took less than 2 months to actually build the app and launch it. And one thing I just have to highlight is the fact that as ICT, we're the people who have the skills to make a mobile app. We also have the content as well. We know where the data sits. It might be owned by business units, but we run it. So when we talk about integration and what to put on a mobile app, we're the best ones to say what should go on the mobile app, to be honest. However, I just have to say I love open source, and as a creator of software, I kind of don't like outsourcing. Let me just say that. This has nothing to do with protests or anything like that. It's just me. I've always been wired like that. So this is the product that we ended up having at the end of the day. That's a splash screen when you open up the mobile app. And we launched it, set up a microsite, because that's one of the things you must do. If you have a mobile app, you must have a website just that just talks about your mobile app, so that people can refer to it whenever they need to. That's one of the students so happy that we had a mobile app. He's seriously photoshopped though, but still, it's a good shot. So we've won numerous awards. And last year we won the MTN App of the Year award. It was held in Cape Town. It was for enterprise development. And so we got the prize there. We've won numerous other awards, international awards. The one on the top right-hand corner is the Mobile Web Award. We got it last year as well. And then the International Association of Business Communicators, the colorful one at the right one at the bottom there, gave us a merit award. It is an international American organization. And of course, those of you who've worked with marketing know about MACE. So we've had numerous awards from there as well. But what did we do that made it make sense? So we used open source because as developers, we're comfortable with the technology. We then achieved a near zero cost to the institution. So it was an easy sell to management when we said we actually want to do all this thing, and they said, how much do you need? And we said, no money. But if you want to give us some, you can. And they gave us 300,000 rands. And I looked at them, I was like, okay, I just told them it's open source and we don't need any money. But they're like, no, go get devices, do interviews, go conference, go do whatever you want in order to produce the product. So we did that. And what I have to say though is that when it comes to doing all of this stuff, you have to release very quickly and update as much as you can. So we had a minimum viable product as soon as possible. And let me skip through the rest and just say when we started, we had to look at the user behavior. So we analyzed Google Analytics on our website, and we realized that 79% of the people were using desktop devices, right, to access our website. 19%, let's just say 21% were using mobile devices. That is during a normal time. When we release exam results, the number changes drastically. So 95% of the hits on our website are from mobile devices, meaning that your students have mobile devices. Let me skip through this. It's just our staff complement. But wanted to say that one of the things that was very important is that looks do matter. And during the 1.5 years of research, we looked at all the apps out there, and we wanted ours to be different. And this is where you have to decide to not follow the status quo. Just because someone is outsourcing to company ABC doesn't mean you have to as well. Otherwise, you always just conform, and our end users will just think it's just like that other university's app. And if their app has problems, the perception is yours will too. So the app on the green side, the lime, was TUT at the time. It was the ITS app that they sell, and we just wanted to be different. We integrated as much as we could. We looked at the portals, we looked at ITS ERP systems, we looked at the alumni, we talked to the library and all those kind of places, and we looked at all that information and drew lines across all of them. And I just have to say, like something a bit technical, okay? We used PhoneGap. So we asked ourselves, how do we want to develop an app? And to be honest, when you think about it, it's very difficult to employ someone with app development skills, especially when you're talking at Android, iOS. It takes time. They won't really gel in the ecosystem of a university because they need the support of other developers. It's quite difficult to entice, unless if, of course, you've got huge amounts of cash. We didn't. But we looked around and we thought, who best to build an app? It became web developers. The guys in charge of the website need the exact same skills to build a mobile app. So all you need is just to know JavaScript, PHP, maybe not necessarily PHP, but just some integration type of language. You just need to know CSS and JSON or XML. And so we investigated it and we realized that at the bottom of the stack here, if you can see very clearly, is where the data sits. And to integrate all of it, we developed PHP RESTful APIs to set up the communication from the front end to the back end. So a lot of people will say, no, you need to employ mobile app developers. That's why we outsource. But that's not really true. Because to do the actual app development, you need someone who knows front end development. So basic designers, and they're a dime a dozen. And to do the actual RESTful APIs, you need someone who knows PHP or .NET. And most universities have someone like that in-house already. And to do the back-end stuff, the data stuff, you need someone who knows databases. And universities have someone like that already. So it became an obvious thing that we wanted to do. And we have presence at the beginning of last year. We sort of ignored Windows. I won't get into that one, but it's faded at the back there. It's on our list of things to do. But so far, we've had 16,000 downloads of our mobile app. And the proposition was very easy to our end users. Have your university in your pocket. This is where you have to be very skillful and try and balance marketing and comms with technology. And so we did that, and we developed a little promo, which is that to showcase the website, the mobile app, sorry. And this runs on our TV screens on campus all the time. So people, it just makes them aware that we have a mobile app, and it just promotes the mobile app on its own. And here's a few screenshots of the app. I wanted to do a demo, but I didn't want to embarrass myself in case the technology failed. So you could download the app and have a look at it. We wanted to be at the same level as your ETV, your BBC type of apps. But there are many problems with that because people will always compare you to Twitter and Facebook. They'll be like, no, I can use Twitter with very little data, so why can't I use your app as well, and things like that. So just want to wrap up. I'll just go quickly scan through these. It's just screenshots of some of the work that we've done. So we tailored our app to suit staff members, students, prospective students, future staff members, visitors, conference delegates, those kind of things. So you can use our app without logging in. And if you have an ID, you can log in. And you log in once and it remembers your username and password until you decide not to. So I've got 2 slides left, if you do not mind. And I just want to do the very important stuff, the lessons learned, okay? The pitfalls that we saw was that a lot of our counterparts get stuck in which framework to use. And there are many out there. The last time I heard NMMU, I was very excited about Xamarin. They're like, oh yeah, let's look at Xamarin. But, just pick one and stick to it and move on. And but if you've got any questions, I've run out of time, but if you've got any questions, let me know. And I'll share the information with you. And the slide will be up online so you can see this kind of stuff. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Test all that different platforms with your app.
All right.
To buy all the cell phones because I want to work there.
we bought a Galaxy, an iPhone, and a BlackBerry, new one and an old one. So that's what we started off with. And then we realized that you don't need to worry too much about testing on many devices when you're using this kind of standardized technology. And when you try to release your app to the iStore, the Apple guys do serious testing on your app. So some people actually, which is a method we're going to do, is we're going to develop for iPhone first and release that. If it passes and gets into the iStore, that means there's some checks that have already been done because Android doesn't really matter. So we do some manual testing, but there are software to automate some of these things as well out there.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
About lessons in managing your university website.
Good morning. Yeah, I can see the the topic can be misleading. I'm not going